Hi, welcome to Bogy and Dave. I'm your co-host, Dave, and I'm joined by my co-host, Bogy. And we were just lamenting off camera on just how awful and disconcerting it is out there in the land of politics, that it's really absolutely dragging me down.
It's disgusting.
It is.
It's disgusting. I think it's very eye-opening that it takes a businessman to run for president who isn't a politician, who says the things that resonate with the people, but the Republican Party wants to ignore that, ignore how he's resonating with them. But on the flip side of it, it's sad that it takes a businessman to run for office because the Republican Party doesn't have anybody better. And it demonstrates, I believe, how far removed both parties, Democrat and Republican, how far out of touch they are with the American people. When you have Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump resonating with the grassroots of America, and it is grassroots, because they're people. Trump is bringing more people into the voting process, which is amazing. Well, by the droves.
That's not necessarily bad.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, but they're ignoring it. In other words, it's unfortunate that it has taken a figure like Donald Trump, and neither political party has anyone remotely close to somebody who would resonate with the people like Trump has and like Bernie Sanders to an extent has too. You know what I mean? Yeah. In other words, no politician in both parties could resonate with the people like Trump was doing.
But what you explained...
And yet Trump's not great. I mean, he's...
No, but what you explained off camera to me, I'm sitting here and I'm shocked that, and I don't know if your information is correct, so I'm going to challenge it. You're telling me that before one vote was cast...
Before any primary started last night, let's take last night for example. By the way, today is, just so people will know, today's what, the 16th?
16th.
Okay, so today's March 16th. So the primaries last night.
Right.
Florida, Missouri, Illinois. Hillary Clinton already had delegates in her column before they started counting a single vote.
From one of those states, or from all of those states?
I think it was, I'm not sure. I forget which ones.
Okay. So if you're sitting...
Missouri.
Now, I had heard or read, there's rumblings that Bernie Sanders was going to go for a third party. Because he is an independent. Okay, he is an independent. Because he's not really quite happy with the way Wasserman Schultz, that troll of a... I mean, she's
disenfranchised a lot of people.
Yeah.
Both parties, right. Republican and Democrat, are imploding in my opinion.
I mean, I would like to...
This is a revolutionary moment, really.
I would like to invite somebody on the show, anybody, to come on here and convince me what they see in Hillary Clinton that I'm not seeing.
There's a double standard going on. I mean, they're piling on Trump, and believe me, there's a lot of reasons, because he's not the most eloquent individual. He doesn't say things completely. He doesn't explain his plans, blah, 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 blah. You can go on and on and on. But he's a businessman. He's not a politician. That's not what he's done for his life. But they're piling on him for some of the things he's said. But it's okay for Hillary to tell Secret Service and men in uniform to F off.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. Yeah. Don't give that any press.
Right.
Don't give Hillary any press for telling men in uniform to F off.
Right.
It's okay to do that.
Also, a sign was held up at one of her rallies recently that said, this is when Carly Fiorina was still in the race, and the sign read, "I'd like to rip Carly Fiorina's face off." Okay? Hillary Clinton points at the sign, gives it a thumbs up, and kind of smiles.
That's okay too.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
All right, but that's
it's
not
okay to have her bark like a dog.
Right, bark like a dog. And Chris Matthews using racist remarks, and nothing is ever said about it.
You know what? It's disgusting.
Well, I think one thing
American fabric.
One thing we did learn in this is that Fox News is nothing more than another liberal station.
I don't like any of them.
I mean, it's like
I'm not even going to call them liberal.
But we don't have a choice
anymore. You can't call
anymore.
them liberal. You can't call Fox a liberal station. They're all part of the quote-unquote establishment. Don't forget, it used to be the media companies out there. There used to be 24 or 28 media moguls, media companies, separate entities. Now there's only like 6. Okay? They've bought everything up. Mm-hmm. So you can't call anybody else anymore liberal, conservative, liberal, conservative. They're still throwing these words out there. Oh, conservative talk show host. No. There's the establishment. And Dana Perino, from what I understand, I didn't hear her say this, supposedly on Fox News said, well, what is establishment anyway? What does that mean? And now, for her to ask that, she's a Bush person.
Right.
For her to ask that, she either lacks that much awareness and intelligence, or she is so far in the tank, it's not even funny.
Oh, she's so far in the tank.
To try and cover up the fact that there's an existing establishment, or like I said in the last show, societal program. This is all about the program. And they don't like that the program is starting to crack some leaks with the people. So now you have somebody today from the Republican Party come out and say, just because the people are voting, it's not up to them
Right.
who the ultimate candidate is.
Right. And have you noticed this symbol being flashed out there by a lot of groups?
What is that?
That's the New World Order.
Yeah.
That's the symbol for the New World Order, which we've been talking about, and the alignment of nations, so that afterwards it's just going to be like very homogenous, not at all, no difference. Many people could argue, well, that's good, but why is England dropping out of the EU? It didn't work over there. That European Union didn't work. So when you bring up Dana Perino and the Bush thing, I see a picture at Nancy Reagan's funeral of George W. Bush, the recent president, hugging Hillary Clinton. She wasn't away from him 4 hours later by referring to Donald Trump as being George Bush on steroids. Okay? People out there forget that Libya is an exact duplicate of what happened in Iraq, a total failed state. And when she was asked about that being a failed state, she said, well, no, it isn't. I mean, we didn't lose anybody over there. As if she completely forgot that we lost 4 people in Benghazi, which kind of started the whole thing. She just ignored it. So what she told those parents was, your kids, your children didn't matter. We didn't lose anybody over there. Yeah. Okay? So this is what we're up against, and we're watching. Or we're seeing, I think, for the first time, like we said, the curtain being pulled away, and we're seeing, you refer to it as the establishment, or Perino did. I'm referring it as to the aristocracy that exists in both parties. There's no difference. There's no difference. They exist for the sole purpose of creating a divide with us so that they can continue to line their pockets, go in as middle class Americans and come out millionaires. Yeah. They have all the inside information on everything that's going to happen on Wall Street before it happens, because they're creating the policies that affect Wall Street, and that's what they're making.
And Soros is funding a lot of the protests.
Soros, in fact, I think, funded Ted Cruz to the tune of $200,000.
I don't know.
Yeah, I read that recently.
It's really amazing. It's interesting. Soros, his actions are very anti-American. They have been for the last 25 years. He has personally bet against national currencies. I believe he's even boasted that he's tanked Greece because of their currency, because he bet against it so much. He shorted the currency. Yeah. He's done it in other nations. This guy is a rabble-rouser.
He's a rotten
And yet,
person.
Clinton, when he was president, let him stay in the country. Bush let him stay in the country. Obama's let him stay in the country. This guy's been here for a while doing this. So he must be lining the pockets of a lot of politicians. And now he has all of these people working for him. And I have a moral problem with people consenting to raise holy hell and get paid for it. And in other words, where is their personal constitution? Where is their morality?
Wait a minute. What do you explain that?
In other words, people who work for MoveOn.org.
Oh, and then show
people who work for Soros. Mm-hmm. They know what Soros does. Does none of this weigh on their conscience? In other words, what happened with all of the? Put it this way. Let me say this to you. When we leave this earth, It's going to be all of the intangibles that matter. Virtue, integrity, morality. All the things that you can't weigh or touch or feel. Mm-hmm. All the things that you can weigh, touch, or feel, money, possessions, cars, that stuff stays here. You know, like Matthew Broccoli, who was the biographer for F. Scott Fitzgerald, once said to me, he said, Neil, he said, they don't have bookcases inside coffins. He was referring to, because I was marveling over all the signed books that he was showing me that he had. Hemingway, Fitzgerald, James Joyce. He's showing me these books like they're nothing. I said, oh my God. I said, what are you going to do with these? He said, I'm going to donate them to University of South Carolina Library. And then that's when he said, they don't have bookcases inside coffins. And the thing is that too many people on this planet right now, especially in this country, while it's important to stay in the moment in a way that is nurturing to your soul. Do things that are good for yourself and good for others around you from a standpoint of goodness and love. But when you start talking about possessions, you start talking about power, money, control, now you're starting to go, you're leaping from the intangible to the tangible, and you're starting to squeeze people's lives and impact other people's lives because that's the way you want it to be. And that's what Soros is doing, okay? That's what these power brokers and the establishment are doing and have been doing in our society for the last 20, 30 years. And their ego, it's fueled by their ego. It's fueled by their pride. Mm-hmm. It's fueled by their selfishness because, you know, it's like me looking at you and saying, I have a better idea, Dave Saad, of how you should live your life. And I'm going to pass a law right now, whether you like it or not, because I know better about how your life should be lived than you do. That's basically what we've been experiencing for the last 20, 30 years.
Well, yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, because they've created this divide, and they have us, it's like we've said, the old magic trick. You know, a magician has you watching over here while the trick is performed over here. And the old adage that the greatest trick that the devil pulled on mankind was to make him believe he didn't exist.
But in the final hour, what's going to really matter? How you treated other people.
Yes, all of the things that our moral compass should be pointing and helping us out with through life. You know, how you help other people, how you treat your family, how you treat your friends.
It's going to come
how
full
you
circle.
live your life. Right, exactly. What did you give back? What did you give back to? Did you leave it a better place than you found it? All of that.
If you do so many toxic, negative things, okay, there is such a thing as eating away at your own soul, and you have nothing left. Hence the expression, selling your soul.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, that's been an adage for centuries, and it's been an adage for a reason, because there's a lot of validity to it.
So
what do you have left?
Okay, we can sit here, and we have been, I think, me more so than you. Okay, you're far more middle of the road than I am. But to some extent, I'm middle, and I can see the blemishes on both sides. And the only reason why I'm backing a person like Trump up is because I want to see the establishment out. I want to see it gone.
So I would love to see it
Okay.
too.
And
Anyone who runs against Hillary,
yeah,
I'm voting for them personally.
Okay.
I would never, in my good conscience, I could not vote for Hillary Clinton. I mean, this goes back. I'm sorry, this goes back decades.
So
because
my question,
my brother was in the military, and I used to hear all kind of things through the grapevine. I mean, the stuff, the dirt on her is real. And let's not forget, when the Clintons left office, they pillaged the White House.
Yeah.
They stole from our own White House. They stole furniture and paintings.
Those are facts. Okay,
those are facts.
Those are facts. Okay.
We're not making that stuff up.
No, I just told you off camera before our show started about what they did to, you know, that whole thing about Travelgate. Well, people brushed that off and they forgot about it. You can find the whole issue about Travelgate and what they did to that family. It was horrifying. And I believe the guy's name was Billy Gates. There was the head of the secretary of the travel there that did all the travel for the presidents. He went back to JFK's time. He's been there for like 30, 40 years. In come the Clintons, and they wanted to put their own person in there because they knew they could make money in that office. So they created and made it seem as though he committed a crime. And then he was exonerated, went to court, took him to court and everything else, and they found him completely innocent, but that wasn't enough. So they ruined him with, through the IRS, ruined the family like that. And people, oh, that was just Travelgate, who cares, right? And the whole thing about the sex scandal, the thing that, what people forget is, that was an intern. That was a girl that was his daughter's age. And if a person pulled that today in private life, they're gone. They're fired.
If that was a Republican who did that?
Now, forget the fact it was a Republican.
If it was?
Forget it. I know, but if it was, I understand. If it was. But I'm looking at the camera telling if somebody did that where you work, they would be fired. And that was a
That's
young
true.
girl.
True.
You know?
Just like I said to you about the email server, if that was a superintendent of schools who brought home the server
Gone. Fired.
to the city, yeah.
Fired immediately, okay? And this thing is getting dragged on, and I'm going to tell you right now, right here as we sit, that they are not going to indict her. They are not, because that indictment's got to come from the president, through Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, and that's it. No matter
That's
what
why,
the FBI
do you
finds.
notice a year and a half ago, Hillary Clinton was saying things that were borderline critical of Obama.
Yeah.
They weren't even getting along. All of a sudden, she's singing his praises, saying she'd like to make him one of the chief justices on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, Supreme Court.
Obama's plans have been wonderful. I mean, this woman will do anything to win, say anything to win. She should be in that movie, Say Anything. They ought to remake that movie and put her in it and make it a political thriller.
Well,
Say Anything. She will say anything to get the vote.
The Supreme Court justice issue that's right now on the table, okay? He's already said who he'd like to see, okay, in office. And I got to tell you, I'm not that disappointed in the person he's put up there for the Attorney General, okay? Out of everybody that was being interviewed, he was probably the best, okay?
Middle of the road guy.
But all of a sudden, it's the Republicans are going to hold this up. Did they forget that Harry Reid pulled the same thing with George Bush? Pull the same exact thing with Bush about an appointment that no way are we going to accept it. Am I going to let it go through? It's going to be. Harry Reid was saying the same thing, but yet a Republican says it, and it's the Republicans are going to be held up. They're going to hold it. It's always Republicans.
Yeah.
Because you know why? The Republicans are stupid.
That's right.
They're stupid.
That's the thing.
Right.
Because the Republicans aren't.
They
Nothing to brag about there either.
They need a good Madison Avenue person to straighten out that whole bunch, because you know what?
They need more than Madison Avenue. They need to. I think with what they are doing with Trump, right?
Right.
They ought to just dissolve.
Yeah.
Let's start. Now's a perfect time for 3, 4, 5 other parties to rise up.
They want to have a brokered convention because they've already showed their hand. But Boehner is going to nominate Paul Ryan. Okay?
Yeah, but Ryan already said, not me.
Oh, well, I didn't hear that part of it. I didn't hear that part. But I'm sitting back, I'm saying, they're talking like this and they're splintering.
Childish. And it's, you know what it is?
They're going to have 8 years or at least 4 years of this crow. And I can't put another way, this rotten toad of a president.
This is like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
This is a Greek tragedy. This is, I've said on past shows before, this is the fall of Rome.
Anyway, this past weekend, I have one of my daughters home from college, and she's in the middle of making a film, okay? And the crew was at my house over the weekend. I had the whole crew there. They were using a certain part of my house. The actors were there. Everybody was there. So the main crew, they were staying at my house. 8 young kids, okay? These are the film people of the future. They're sitting around my table and they're eating. And I said, I got to ask you, who are you kids backing? And I don't say kids like, who are you kids backing in the presidential race? Every one of them, Bernie Sanders. So my next question was, why Bernie Sanders? And they went into, they knew what Hillary was. They said it right out. And most of the crew were females. And they were saying what a rotten person she is. She's a liar. She's this. She can't be trusted. All of the buzzwords that we've heard out there. I said, but do you really believe that Bernie Sanders is going to give us all of that? Well, how is he going to pay for it? And that's when there was dead silence. I said, it's got to come from somewhere. That money for colleges and loans and this and that's got to come from somewhere. But those kids aren't stupid. They aren't stupid. They see
that's
her
where the
for
hope is. The hope is in our children.
Yeah, they see her. But yet, the other part of them that believes that he's going to go in there and just give away everything is wrong.
Yeah,
too.
I'm a little.
And for us to believe, and for me to believe that Trump's going to go in there and really turn things over, I mean, I hope it would happen.
If Bernie really wanted to win, if he really wanted to win, he would have gone after the jugular with Hillary, and he didn't.
He didn't.
He could have hammered her on Benghazi.
Sick of hearing about those damn emails.
That was it. That was the closest he came in the
Right.
first debate, because I think Debbie Wasserman Schultz, it was almost like it was staged.
Yeah.
I want you to say this in the first debate, then don't bring it up again. Yeah. I'm sorry, but again, when did integrity suddenly not matter to be president of the United States? I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wherever the Clintons go, there's a trail of dead bodies. To my knowledge, so far, even
that
though
rumor has got to have something to it, because when I saw the number, it was over 50 people. And the way most of them were found dead, you know, you have to start thinking there could be some truth to this.
I would trust the mafia before I trusted the Clintons.
Yeah, exactly.
All day long, 10 times on Sunday.
I know that Kathleen Willey has come forward and said that she's been threatened, you know, the whole
Of
thing about
course.
her cat. And her husband was found dead, you know, allegedly committed suicide. Ron Brown, who was going to be testifying, found on an airplane, you know, airplane crashes. Okay, airplane crashes, I got it. But how many people on that list of 50 were found with a bullet hole?
Ron Brown.
Ron Brown.
Had a bullet hole in the back of his head.
And I know.
But supposedly died in a plane crash.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But everybody on that plane went down. He supposedly, again, that could be rumor. But the others' deaths weren't rumors. They were found dead, shot to death. Okay. So you have to say, okay, you know, I don't want to, you know, black helicopters and everything else, but damn it, there's something about these people that's extremely toxic.
Yeah.
And we're going to
There's a lot of hypocritical aspects to this, because all these years we criticized Putin and Russia for
the same stuff.
Bumping people.
Right.
But yet mysteriously, people are bumped here, but it's not called that.
No, it isn't.
They just suddenly found they were just dead. They just woke up. They're
all
dead.
50 of them.
They're
all
just
50 of them.
dead.
Yeah.
Just like the 12 holistic doctors since June. Suddenly they're just dead. Just like the microbiologists and researchers who have been dead who found dead over 50 of them, I think, since 2003. Just dead.
Yeah.
Just like all the cancer researchers now.
Yeah.
Who are looking into the true ingredients in some of these vaccines, some of which have not been tested, who are looking into, you know, GCMAF, the protein to combat cancer. Suddenly, some of them are being found dead.
Yeah.
You know, believe me, the stuff that people think this is a free nation, that we can say whatever we want and we can pursue whatever we want. If you pursue anything that could potentially cost some of the establishment money, they don't want you around.
No.
And
that was Rockefeller pulled that, and Edison pulled that many years ago. The Tesla is one.
We should have free energy today.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be paying for oil.
Yeah.
But let's put Hillary Clinton in office, who's just going to continue doing what? All the same old stuff.
Who she come out. Imagine if a Republican came out and said, I'm going, all of the coal miners in that whole industry is gone. They're all going to lose their jobs. That person today wouldn't even be able to come out of their house. The press would be all over it. With her, there was a little bit of, well, she said this. How can anybody vote for somebody like her? You know what it comes down to? I don't know what happened within us that we can't discuss politics the way we can discuss even something as mundane as sports.
I agree.
We can't. I can look over at a team that I dislike, and say, that guy, he's a great pitcher over there. You guys could win it this year, And there's a lot of sportsmanship and gentlemanlike exchange.
I think it has a lot to do with the lack of respect for reason, lack of respect for wisdom, lack of respect for knowledge, education again. We've lost respect for the finer qualities of humanity. We've lost respect for humanity. We've lost respect for ourselves. When you tell a Secret Service agent as a
who's saving your
life to F off.
Yeah. Right.
Okay? When you treat people the way Miss Clinton has, at a high level of office, it shows a total lack of respect for humanity, lack of self-respect, lack of understanding for any of the niceties that we as people are capable of. And it's sad.
But again, Neil, I come back to the question as to a lot of these people that worked, that was in their universe, that worked for them, that worked with them. They come out and they tell these stories that are horrifying, and
they don't stick.
But we know them to be true. But how can people out there vote for her?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
They're not
understand
sticking.
what's
I don't know
happened to
either.
us.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
I don't either. It's okay for a woman to be under investigation while she's running for president, and people are still voting for her.
I hear people say that Dick Cheney ought to be held up for war crimes. What just happened in Libya? Shouldn't we be holding Obama up for and Hillary Clinton up for war crimes? She was behind that invasion. She was behind the whole thing. I mean, so why don't we say the same thing? Why is that?
We're giving them a pass. We're giving them all passes. The media. I don't know.
We're down to about a minute and a half, and
we're in trouble.
I'm confused.
I think we're in trouble.
I'm really confused
Harmony,
because I just don't get it.
Yeah, Harmony is in trouble. There's a lot of hope, but there's a lot of trouble right now brewing in the seas. And my prediction is, you think you've seen some rocky stuff in the next 20 months? You're not going to believe what you're going to see.
Okay, we have a minute left, and I want to ask a prediction. I want you to go out on the limb. Do you think that any of what happened with the emails is going to stick to her?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think anything is.
I think that's why she's being so nice to Obama. She wants Obama to give her a pass.
I don't think anything is. I think they're going to find some patsy that worked for her, and that poor person is going to get nailed and held accountable for that whole issue, okay? And everything that she pulled, Petraeus got sunk with it. Scooter Libby went to jail for it. So my guess is that she's going to get.
Look at the Valerie Plame thing. It's something.
Scooter Libby.
Okay, that's right.
Okay. So I think that she's going to take a pass, and somebody in that little circle is going to end up taking the hit, guaranteed.
Or dead.
Or dead. So they're going to take the hit for it because
they'll say, "Oh, you drank some water and just drop."
Hey, we're down to our last. I'm still trying to talk my partner here because I want to bring on some liberals and I want to ask them how they could possibly vote for these people, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Talk to you again next week. I just.